Hi there, I'm Angela Oberer, and today's good idea comes from Adam. He writes in and he says, "Yo, I'm writing this letter because I spent the last 2 years in ISS, which is short for in-school suspension. And now the counselor says I have to go to an alternative high in order to graduate. What's the point? Am I ever really going to use the stuff I learned in school?" Well, Adam, the answer is yes, you are. At some point along the way, you learned how to read and write, and you contacted me today. So, gotcha. You will use the stuff that you learn. Now, as far as the academics are concerned, I don't know. I don't know the specifics of what it is you're learning, but everything that you do in school also applies to real life. For example, every day you go to school. So that teaches you a reliability of going to school every single day. Do you stay at school? See, that makes you dependable. We know we can count on you to stay at school and stay there for the duration of the day. That becomes really important when you get your first job and you are reliable and you are dependable and you show up for work and you stay there the whole entire day. If you're in high school, you're thinking about your job, if you have a job already, or you're thinking about the job you're going to get when you graduate. If you're not thinking about that, you're probably thinking about college. And if you don't have good grades now, you're probably going to have a difficult time getting into college. So what you do right now really does apply to what happens later on. Also in high school, there are a lot of bullies. It's kind of a thing that happens in high school. So if you learn how to deal with bullies and how to diffuse some of their power, when you get out into the real world and you come in contact with that in business, you'll be better equipped to deal with that there as well. Another thing that's interesting is in school, you have to do presentations. You assimilate information and you present it back to the class, right? So that makes you, and it puts you in a position to be a better salesperson when you're talking to prospective customers and you're presenting ideas. In my current job, I have 4 tests that I have to take every single quarter in order for me to keep my job. Now, if I didn't know how to take tests, or if I was skipping on the tests, or I was cheating on the tests, I would lose my current job. Right? So the things that you're learning in school right now, yes, you will use for later life. And if you're involved in any sports whatsoever, you're probably learning, or you have learned, about winning and losing and competition and teamwork and things like that. So it's not just the academics that are important that you learn in school. It's also all of the other things that are involved with going to school. So should you stay in school? Absolutely. Because not only will you use those skills for later in life, but that's a good idea.
Now that's a good idea.